Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom. Let's discuss about Sri Gayatri, the goddess Gayatri, the fifth divine soul. Now let's start but understand by Atma, the primordial divine soul. Sanatana Dharma says very clearly, the divine soul is Atma. It cannot be cut, burnt and dissolved. It is indestructible, insoluble, integrated, undistinguishable, inexhaustible and eternal. Everything in the universe has come from it, everything is sustained by it, everything will go back to it. And my honest perception is the above qualities are perceptible in the inert dark matter, the noble gases, like helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and astonian. This inert matter cannot be cut, burnt and dissolved. These represent soul. That consistency about the ancient Indian statement of Sanatana Dharma about Atman and its closeness are identical thing with noble gases, inert gases is surprising, but this is what makes spiritual science. Now I have been discussing a new chapter for the book called Akhand, the Impeccable Wisdom. The first essence of the first three divine souls. Let me again repeat it so that we can move on to the fourth and the fifth thereafter. The first three divine souls, the first one is Nirankar, Nirgun, Brahman, that is formless, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, universal consciousness. The second soul is Sakar, Sargun, Brahman, the so-called, which is visible. First is formless, this is visible. It is with the qualities which have a distinct nature to show us the internal universe. This is second manifestation. Third is the Anubhav. The one makes us experience the universal consciousness as such. These are the things which are very subtle, very high level, and these are the things which you can explain within yourself through inert matter, astatine, xenon and krypton. These three inert matters are unstable. Even science says they are unstable. But I can experience that, or we can experience that within the body. Let's talk about it. And there is a beautiful conversation on Brahman which happened 5000 years ago in King Janak's kingdom when he called for discussion on Brahman. And most of the sages have come, and one of the most important was Maharishi Yajnavalkya, who even claimed the award before even discussion started. Is a very interesting part of Brihad Upanishad. I can see the picture. And then the dialogue between Brahman by Maharishi Yajnavalkya and Gargi, and the discussion was beautiful. But at the stage when Yajnavalkya made it very clear, this is a discussion, let us have it. If you go beyond that, your head will become hot and it will break. Let's stop it. And the whole conversation was stopped at that particular stage. They did not go to the first three levels. That's what I'm trying to talk about it. What happened up to that, we are going to see as we move on in a very subtle way. My experience of divine Brahman, of right up to Nirankar Nirgun Brahman, is what my Antaratma, was divine, these seven souls told me. If you want to experience, stand on a place of 2 by 2 feet tile. Within that, move around your axis more than 252 times. And gradually, step by step, I did with holding my hand parallel to the ground and going around it, and I did it up to 268 times. And then I stopped. I think enough is enough. But in the process, what I experienced was wonder of the wonders, which brought me to Divyank, 8 Hz alpha frequency through the brain with eyes open, and me explaining each and every concept of the universal consciousness, which has not been done by anybody else, which are mathematically correct, physics, chemistry and science alone. I am not talking of the philosophy, I am not talking of the subject. Core is the divine mathematics, physics, chemistry and symbolic, which is of the universal consciousness, I'm talking about those things. And I have done that over and over and over, shows this one experiment alone in Akhand Yoga has given me that level of consciousness. Now come to the question of descent to Adi Prashakti is something has already been spoken. This picture is there. You can see Adi Prashakti is falling down from the universal consciousness, and you can see angels or others welcoming her. And they are almost in the same state which I have done myself in being in tune with Nirankar Nirgun Brahman itself. Now comes to the Mahabrahman. Let's say I, human being, is Jivatma, divine soul within is Antaratma, solar system is Brahmand, spiral galaxy is Brahmand, but there is a universe beyond solar spiral galaxy, solar system, and that is what I call Mahabrahmand, and greater higher universe. Going up to that, you can experience this beautifully by anybody and everybody with other concept of Akhand Yoga itself. Now comes to the fourth divine soul. As I told in the last one, Adi Prashakti and inert matter organ 40. When I say divine organ 40 and I say the power of 18, you can see in this picture of Adi Prashakti, she is the divine mother of Dattatreya, like Anusuya did it, and Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh are Saraswati, Mahalakshmi, Kali. All the concepts are there from Adi Prashakti. All the creation has come from there, and organ 40. What is organ 40? And spiral galaxy started from that. Organ 40 is from fission of organ 40, which has got 22 neutrons, 18 protons, 18 electrons. That is a beautiful concept in mathematics and physics to start how you can see. And that as a result, you can see in this picture, there is a light inside, but there is a darkness outside. And why darkness outside? What is light inside is something which has been spoken about in Ved itself. Before the creation, there was Andhakar, there was Tamas, and light came thereafter, which every religion in the world talks. From darkness, a light. Tamsoma Jyotirgamit. Now you can see in this particular picture, the left side is argon with a 22 neutrons, 18 electrons, 18 this. This is what periodic table is also good. But all are centered in the center, so you can see the light inside and darkness outside. But once this light is charged, then you can see the light even in signboards are made of inert matter, whether it's the helium, neon, argon or otherwise. But from there only Neon-21 has come, and that has created the solar system by and large. You are moving from higher down step by step, from organ to this. Having come that, I am talking about Rigved, it says, whatever is created was created, and it was created out of tamas or the darkness. You can see in the fifth line, the first word is tamas alone. Now come to the what is Rigved talks about it, as I told you in the beginning, darkness, andhakar, tamas, everything came. And that statement in what I have shown is that even God did not know. They were born of the creation, but human beings, we have all the gods and goddesses within us, like 33 crore devtas, and we can experience it within our body. And that is exactly what Brahmins of ancient who wrote Veda and Upanishads, they were in tune with universal consciousness. I am just trying to replicate that in the light of modern science and give the divine mathematics like Divyank to the world for the first time from 2015. If they were gave mathematics at the higher level, even we can give it. And this is what I am trying to show, that if we are perfect Brahmins, we can be in tune with universal consciousness. I am not talking about Brahman by birth. And every human being can be a Brahman, and that is what it is all about. Now comes the one person, as I told you, Yajnavalkya was the he did not believe in any other human being as his guru. His guru was Surya, Saraswati, Om, and that's it. And if we believe that universal consciousness is our guru, not a human beings, not a document, other thing, and you have to experience that within you and done with it. And this is what I've taken from him, and I've experienced, and I'm explaining the same thing in my light what sages had talked about Vedas, Upanishads, and other things, including Maharishi Yajnavalkya. Now come to the question of creation to the next stage. Rigved takes about tamas, darkness. Is not specified what it is, I agree. But where the specification is seen is Maharishi Yajnavalkya again. Brihad Anarkya Upanishad says the primordial space was filled with object in a state of mrityu. He makes it clear an object which is a dead body. I think that was very precise when says darkness is a quality. But here it is an object which is in dead state, and that is what dead matter, which every scientist is also talking about. And everything has come from there, will stay and go back. That I think that's a greater statement of Maharishi Yajnavalkya. Let's see that particular statement. This is statement of Brihad, where he says there was nothing in the primordial space. It was indeed covered by death, mrityu. Do you agree with the statement? I do agree. Nothing can come out of nothing. Nothing will last. This is divine law. It was Neon-21 which was there, from which everything has come. I think that was beautiful thing, clearing from darkness to dead body. And let's take it to further what I have done. I have taken Sanatana Dharma to the next stage. And as you can see, Divyank, the divine constant 23, primordial space was filled with isomers and Neon-21. He said dead body and I said Neon-21. And isomer Neon-21 collided to form the isomers of Neon-22. The light, enlightenment and Akash Bhuta, I have explained that earlier. Now we are slowly moving on towards with a scientific description which has not been done earlier. Now you can see very clearly there is a darkness outside and light inside in all the inert matters which I have explained. Now let's take it. My opening statement which I always give it. Whenever in doubt, I watch cosmos upstairs. Why? I see an omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, perfect divine design of nature in the universe. Entire divine mathematics I've seen with my eyes, with the 10 conscious levels as such. And it's amazing is, if you're looking at spiral galaxy, it has got 10 suns, and I call that Aham Brahmasmi. I am like that. That is my being. And same thing I have written down, Tat Tvamasi is a beautiful statement from Chandogya Upanishad, not from Ved. Both are from Upanishads. And Tat Tvamasi does not mean I am like a god, which Aham Brahmasmi says. But Tat Tvamasi means everything is identical, is something which I have specifically mentioned. That there is a design with which everything in the entire universe which is perfect is the same thing, and that is a Divyank. Now comes to question, a very important statement of Sanatana Dharma. Pindandam Brahmandam Ekam. Human being, universe are identical. That's where I go to one more step. The human body is not made of 7 chakras, which everybody talks about it. Sat Chakra Nirupana talks of only 6 chakras, not 7 chakras. But actually, my experience, there are 10 chakras within my body, and those 10 chakras are 10 endocrine glands, are 10 centers of autonomic nervous system, which are in the center of my physical body, which gives me the perfect awareness of my body as such. Solar system, spiral galaxy, greater universe, or the entire universe I can feel within us, and that is what Krishna is talking about in Gita, Virat Rupam. And that Virat Rupam is this. Same thing when you see the second picture, 10 heavenly bodies or 10 planets of the solar system is also 10. This is also 10. Aham Brahmasmi, the spiral galaxy, is also 10 suns. Is a coincidence? It's a repetition of same thing. And that is what is Divyank 22 by 21 to the power of 10.34419 equivalent to 1.61834. That's a divine mathematics which was recognized, conceived, and revealed for the first time in 2015 only. And that takes us the knowledge to a much higher level of education, enlightenment, and empowerment. This is the world needs today, to give uniform knowledge to every student, every scholar, every researcher, every author throughout the world. This is the one which should have been there from the very beginning, which was given in Ved Upanishad, but not to the extent which I have taken it to. I am glad trying to become Brahman by understanding these scriptures, following those steps, reach that level. Now come to the question of Tattvamasi is a great occult. And this is from Chandogya. I am like God does not make sense. My experience concepts are different. Everything, Tvam mean everything, is identical, Asi, and nature is Tat. Divine nature and every perfect is identical, and that means there must be a perfect divine design of nature. This is statement, and that divine design of nature is Divyank. Now my spiritual science and experiences and convictions, which let me talk about it. As I told you, Goddess Gayatri, coming to the Brahmand level. As you can see, the left side spiral galaxy, there are spiral of 10.34419 spirals are there, not 10, 10.34419. And right side you can see Neon-21, and this is Gayatri. You see in the Gayatri that it is lotus, which is Brahma, which is the base. Then you have 10 arms, and that is what 10 is. And as far as lotus is concerned, is equivalent to 22 by 21. Then 5 heads of the Panchbhutas, and that as 0.34419. So in Gayatri's picture, you can see lotus of 22-21, which you're going to see, then 10 stages of development. 0.34419 is a further maturation of third stage, and that completes it. And that is Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva as such. And I think that is beauty of seeing the universe moving to the perfection divine mathematics. Now, in this particular picture, I've already explained Neon-21. Why is dark? There are 10 electrons, 10 protons, and 11 neutrons. And these 11 neutrons is again, sun moves from north to south pole in 11 years. It's simple. And then move on to other things, another 11 years. There is a circle of 22 in sun itself. That's the beauty. This is where I see divine mathematics perfectly fitting to explain divine design called Divyank. Now the question comes up to the creation. Before creation it was darkness. During creation, when Neon-21 and 21 got together to form Neon-22, and that's where the whole universe started taking shape. That's the first step, Divyank alone. And that came with the light. There was a darkness, and that means Tamsoma Jyotirgarme. That is again Brihad Upanishads. Maharishi Rajnavalkya only said it. From darkness to light. And every religion says the same thing. But once they believed there was light, then it dissolved over a period and all the elements formed thereafter. And the same statement you can see in Rigved. During the creation, things happened. After creation, Lord Brahma took rest for 1.5 years. Let me bring it to the human pregnancy. After sperm and ovum mix together, they form zygote. For 1.5 days, zygote takes complete rest to mobilize itself. It does not divide. The division starts only after 1.5 years. And this is again ancient statement in the modern science, putting together the one which is required for the world to understand this is how things happen. Now I can see after the creation of the world, we have the world with a form of neon in 3 concepts. Isomers of neon-21 are 90%. Neon-21 is 1%, neon-22 is 9%. This is scientific thing which you can see in the internet. So this is where spirituality and science are together becoming spiritual science, and that is the divine mathematics of Divyank. And only divine mathematics, divine physics, divine chemistry, divine medical sciences can give us the perfect knowledge which the world needs to eliminate all the differences. I want every student in the world, every research scholar, every artist, every teacher, every author to talk about Divyank and give the uniform knowledge without any differences at all. And my objective is only from that. I've done that for last 10 years, but now this new series, this is fifth in the series, is only to now create a new sequence step by step from formless to the form step by step. Now comes the spiral galaxy. As I told you, there are 10 suns. As such, you can see the 10 suns very clearly in this particular picture. You can see the 10 planets are whatever you have seen. Sun, you can see Mercury, you can see Venus, you can see Earth, you can see Moon, you can see Mars, you can even say asteroid belt, you can see Jupiter, Saturn and other things. This is again the beauty, same thing replicated in the human body, in the solar system as well as to spiral galaxy. Now this is the picture again. You can see the Divyank design. You can see the 10 planets, 10 chakras and same design of 22 by 21 to the power of 10.34419. Once a person who is able to see that, you are in tune with universal consciousness. Now I am going to share, we are passing through the stage of NIS I started when Jagannath temple thing. There are 22 steps in Jagannath temple. As I told you, sun goes around itself in 22 years. Here you have a 22. And entire Upanishads say the solar system is made of 21 parts, 7 of earth, 7 of antariksh, 7 heavenly bodies, Swarg, 21, and to go beyond it, 27. This is again now appearing very clearly, ki 22 by 21 spoken in Upanishads again and again and again, and even our scriptures and temples, others say the same thing. Scientists also say that 22 years of the sun's axis, and you see everywhere the rule of 21. So is this a coincidence? No, it's a divine design. Our ancients knew very well, they implemented that even in the temple. Jagannath temple is one of the 4. We are going through Navaratri and there are 22 steps. Now come to the Rameshwaram, is another part of the Char Dham. That is in south. This is in Jagannath is the east, south and east. Here also you have 22 wells, and all the 22 wells of Rameshwaram temple have different water with the different qualities. Is it a coincidence? Even after so many years, that still remains same thing. That's the place where Rama had Varna, and water in the sea itself have all the qualities, including Amrit as one of the 22 steps. Is a coincidence? No, this is a divine design. Now come to the question. Slowly a genuine statement which I am making. All the concepts of impeccable wisdom or Akhand Vidyashram are founded on my personal spiritual science experiences and integrated divine mathematical convictions. Nothing is copied without a divine mission. Let us start from the state of the creation as I've done in this particular thing. It from the zero. Zero was not invented by Aryabhatta. It was Shunya right from Rigved itself. From that, how we have come to Divyank, you are going to see that slowly one by one. The first thing, Sanatana Dharma talks about mantras. The greatest mantra is Gayatri mantra. Then yantra, you have seen all these yantra forms, and greatest is Gayatri again. And there are many other things which I am going to talk about. Then comes Tantra, is a physical human body, is again with the same structure. But now I am adding fourth concept called Ganit Vidya to Akhand Vidyashram's work, to Sanatana Dharma. Okay, this is the impeccable wisdom which we should know. Every object of the universe is designed with divine mathematics, divine symbols, and science is essence of all mathematics. Everywhere is mathematics. And the final is Divyank, which I have gone to this particular stage. I think that's enough for the time being. Now trying to make it to just less than 30 minutes so that people can see, not like my earlier which was up to 60, 70, 80 minutes. Now this is what we will end talk about it. This is everything is there in this particular thing. I think it's enough for the time being. Thank you very